Hi everybody, it's Erin from ePapery, and today I'm doing my final Junktober project. I'm doing a belly band with flip, and I'm using a postcard, and it's going to be horse themed. So here we go. I have this piece of fabric in my stash, and it's got horses on it, of course, but I'm just going to use this little piece right there with this little baby horse on it. And I picked out a couple of other fabrics that I thought would be fun, and I have this horse or a postcard with a picture of a little kid on a horse, and this page out of one of my books that's got a bunch of horse graphics on it. So that's how the theme came together. This is for my niece Chloe's journal. While I look through papers, I'm going to take a minute just to ask you to please like this video and subscribe to the channel, and please leave a comment. How are you doing this fall, and have you enjoyed these Junktober challenge videos? Thank you so much. So I'm just looking through a small paper pack. This one was from Joann Fabrics. It's a 6x6 pad, and I'm just looking for some cardstock that's going to go along with the fabrics that I chose. The flap part of this belly band project is actually going to be a fabric flip, hence all the fabrics, but I need some papers to contrast with that and to construct the belly band from. So I chose these two pieces of card in yellow and a teal because both of those colors appear in both of the colored fabrics. So just taking my paper cutter here, and I am going to cut this one off at like 2 1/4 inches. Okay, maybe 2 1/2 inches. I decided I wanted to make this belly band just a little bit thicker so that it could withhold that fabric flip, I guess. So there you go. And then what I'm going to do is create a little flip over flap on there by scoring at 1/2 inch or so. Yeah, 1/2 inch. So the belly band itself is 2 inches wide, but then we've got that 1/2 inch that's going to flip over, and that's what's going to hold the fabric flip. So I'm just going to bend that forward so that it creates something for me to adhere the fabric flip to, so that it is part of the belly band, but that it functions on its own as a flip. So how's everybody doing? This week has been pretty busy with Halloween and everything coming up, and Edwin's birthday was yesterday. So everything's just been a little bit crazy, and I haven't been feeling so great, so I've been kind of taking some rest time as well. But otherwise pretty quiet around here. Evie's busy with play practice. Her play is coming up in mid-November, so they're really getting down to the last couple of weeks here with tech week and loading the set in and everything. So she's been really busy. So I'm taking this contrasting paper, and I'm going to cut some widths here. Now I do this in kind of a convoluted way, but basically what we're going to end up with is 2 1-inch strips of paper. Since this is not pre-planned, folks, I'm making these projects up as I go along. Sometimes I do things that you know, when I go back and look at them, I think, well, there was a better way to do that. I could have just whonked off an inch and then whonked off another inch, but you know, when you're in the moment, it doesn't occur to you. So Anyway, so what I'm doing though is I want to create this little band with these papers that are, the papers are going to adhere to the flip to cover that up on the belly band. And then I want to incorporate this postcard somehow, but what I want to do is put the fabric flip in there first. So I'm actually going to tear pieces of fabric because I like that frayed edge when I tear versus just cutting. But if you would rather just cut a straight line, or maybe use pinking shears, or cut and maybe hem the edges or edge them with lace, you do you, and make this project your own. So I'm just going to nip that and tear it so that it is the width of those little paper bands. And I want this particular piece of fabric to be just large enough to kind of cover up that postcard, so I, figured out how tall that postcard was. And then I just take another little snip and rip it down the side, and then that's going to be kind of my short piece of fabric at the front. It's also the most decorative piece of fabric. Just cleaning up some of the strings, the bigger ones, leave the frayed edges. And then I'll take the stripy piece of fabric and I'm going to make this piece just a little bit smaller. It'll be the same width, but it'll be just a little bit shorter than the other piece of fabric. So, and I kind of turned this a couple of ways because I wanted to make sure that I had certain colored stripes on this particular piece, because I would have the teal paper and the yellow paper more visible. So I think I did this one in a way to make sure that there was a pink stripe visible in the piece, just to make sure that, I cut this piece off because we have enough yellow. And I wanted to make sure that the blue and the pink were more visible. So that's what I did. Figured out how large I wanted to make that piece. It's going to be just a little bit smaller than the first piece that I did. And that will just stack on top. So then the next part is getting a piece of the fabric that includes that little horse. So I'm just gonna lay that first piece of fabric that I did down over that horse to make sure that that's the piece that I'm getting. And then I'm taking a pencil and just tracing. I wanted it to be a little bit taller because it's going to be the very back piece of fabric. And then I have my width. And making sure I get just a little bit of an indication on the other side too, where I need to cut that off. It's not an exact science, but this is, it's a homespun piece of art, so we're just doing what seems to work and hoping that it works out for the best. So I'm going to use my pinking shears on this one. This particular fabric, the way that it was woven, it was probably not going to tear very well. So I did use pinking shears on this one. So. this one also, because it was formerly, I think it was maybe a jacket or something like that. This piece looks like it might have been a sleeve or something, based on my limited knowledge of sewing pattern pieces and how they look when they're flattened. It looks like it might have been a sleeve piece, but it has a hem down around the bottom of that piece. So I just kind of kept that on to have a hemmed bottom to that back piece. And then just chopped that other little scrap off. We'll use that for something else in a different project, and the rest of the fabric goes back in the bin. And then I'm going to assemble my fabric flip. Still not quite sure how that postcard's gonna factor into things, but it's coming, you'll see. I'm still figuring it. Well, as I'm filming this, I'm still figuring out, like, do I put it behind the belly band? You know, and I'm thinking this all out in my head, and then it occurs to me that with the size of the fabric flip, this is going to take up the majority of the page, and so that belly band is going to have to go up towards the top of the page. So potentially that postcard would not be able to go behind that belly band and still fit on the page. So you'll see the solution I come up with in a little bit. But what I'm doing is just assembling my 3 pieces of fabric and stacking them. And I found a little piece of lace that I thought would be fun to add to the front, just as a little extra piece of decoration. So just kind of nudging things around to see how I like them arranged. Do I want the lace to go on top of the strip of paper, beneath the strip of paper, and, you know, just audition everything, see what you think. And I decided at this point I'm just going to glue that lace piece down. So while I'm working on this, just a reminder to everybody, this is your last call for Junktober, ePapery Junktober challenge entries. Reminder that every post you make with the hashtag epapereshowandtell is an entry into our giveaway. So even just one post with that hashtag gets you an entry. You do not have to complete the entire challenge worksheet. So get your posts in. I think I will wait to do the drawing until, you know, November 4th or 5th maybe, just to give everybody some time to kind of wrap up their projects and get some posts done before I do the drawing and give out prizes. And reminder that the prizes are, let's see, we've got some items from the shop, we've got some stash builder packs, and we've got free digitals. And I just posted the new Christmas digital for this year. So that one would be included in the giveaway if you win the free digitals. So great prizes. So make sure you get your entries in. So I'm just going to put that little lace piece on the front. And moving on now to getting the rest of this fabric flip stacked and put together. So just stacking those up in order. And I believe I put like just a little bit of glue between the layers. Yeah. Dotting along the top. And is when I'm going to place now my little top strip of paper. And now I will flip this over and place my bottom strip of paper along the back, and that will sandwich that fabric in between those papers. But I'm not going to glue the whole back. I'm just gluing along this bottom, so the bottom half of the strip where the fabric is, and I'm leaving the top part of the strip glue free, because what I'm going to do then is sandwich those around that little 1/2 inch flip of paper on the belly band. So just making sure everything's well impressed here. And now coming back from a little sewing break where I put a little zigzag stitch all along that fabric. So that is what is adhering all of those layers of fabric now between those pieces of paper. So it's time now to finally put the fabric flip onto my belly band. So I just slid that little flap of paper in between the fabric flip flaps of paper. Does that make sense? The belly band flap of paper in between the fabric flap of papers. You know what I'm talking about. So got it into place, and now I'm going to take my art glitter glue and get that in there just to make sure that that's glued into place. And I'm very careful here to make sure that it's lined up with the crease the way I want it to be, because what I don't want to have happen is it folds over and has some funky edge or something. So yeah, so just being careful about that. So just making sure everything's kind of getting into position. Carefully. I'm gonna pull that one out just a little bit, make sure that crease is showing, and pressing everything into place. Now I'm gonna sew. Okay, coming back from the sewing machine, and now I've got 2 zigzag stitches on my fabric flip and my belly band, and everything's getting held into place. There you go. So it's looking pretty cute. My belly band, flippity flappity with my fabric flip. Now I've still got to figure out what the heck I'm going to do with this postcard. So again, I'm trying to figure out, well, what kind of mechanism do I want to do with this? Do I adhere it to the belly band somehow? What to do. So here is my brilliant idea. I am going to make a second flip out of the postcard by punching out some tabs from the yellow paper. And that way the postcard can flip, and you can see the vintagey back of the postcard and also the cool front of the postcard, and you can still get to the page behind the postcard to write. And then here is where Erin has a bumbling crafter moment. I fold these and it's all working great because I'm like, well, they need to be scored in order to flip nicely. So yay, we're doing fine. doing fine. Folding the tabs, doing fine. And then I decide for whatever reason that I need to cut one of these off. And I don't even remember like what my thought process was. Oh, I remember now. It would have worked just fine had I actually glued it on the right way. So you'll see what I do in a minute. First, I need to unclog my glue bottle. So taking this little piece, and I'm gonna glue it to the back of the postcard. Okay, looking good. It's all working out according to my dastardly plan. And then glue the other one on the front, matching up the shapes so that it all looks wonderful. And then here is where my brain started going, okay, wait, when I put this onto the thing, I don't need two thicknesses of paper to actually adhere this flip to the belly band, because I was gonna adhere it to the front of the belly band. So I'm just gonna cut one of these tabs off. And it all made so much sense when I did it. Here's where I'm thinking, and my brain is just plugging away, and I'm thinking I'm being real smart. Real smart. Okay. And then that's where I did it. I cut the wrong tab off. So, because I wanted the front of the postcard to be facing front, then there's my moment. I'm like, oh, Erin, there's your bumbling crafter moment of the day. So I have to, guess what? Glue this tab back on. Don't you love it? Gotta love those moments. So here we go, gluing it back on. It would have been fun had I cut the other one off. It would have been perfect. My brain was thinking the right things. My hands just did the wrong things. So, you know. Perhaps another cup of coffee should have been added to the to the crafting session. Anyway, so gluing the tab back on, and now I will finally adhere the postcard flip to the belly band, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome, I swear. Yeah, trying to clean that up now and make it look decent. Ugh. Okay, here we go. There we go, finally. Cute little postcard on my belly band. Flips now, and it's got fabric flip, something fun for Chloe to discover as she gets through the fabric. And oh look, there's a fun postcard back there. So now I need to actually put this on a page. There we go. So, getting the journal, and I'm gonna get to the page where we're gonna put this in. And this journal is turning out so cute. I really like it, and I think it's going to look really cute. I liked the idea of putting it on this one since there's just kind of like more going on to it, and there's a little bit of space between these two signatures. So now to place it where there's enough room for that fabric, because I don't really want too much hanging out below the book. I want this to be able to sit on a shelf without wrecking anything. So this belly band is actually going to go, up towards the top of the page. And then the other thing I need to do is, it got pretty stiff because we've got fabrics and we've got, stacks of paper there. So it's pretty stiff, and I need to take some time here to bend it so that it forms to the page, and it'll go into, the binding of the book a little bit better, because otherwise I think that, our glitter glue is fantastic, but I'm not sure it would have held it with that kind of rigidness to it. I'm not sure that it was going to be strong enough to hold it to shape like that. So I went ahead and I shaped it so that I could get it in there. And I'm putting this on, this particular page is of kind of a card weight scrapbooking paper, so it is a heavier thing. I would not put this type of a embellishment on a thin paper page. So it needs to be a little beefier. So just holding that in there, making sure that that's grabbing. On both sides. But look how cute that is. It's adorable. I like all the colors that went together, and I think it looks really cute with the little poly flinders on the opposite page. So now I've got this belly band with no purpose, so we need to find a purpose for the belly band. And I haven't used any of my Fun Horse graphics yet, so my idea is to make a card that just kind of hangs over the belly band, and I'm going to use a horse on the horse graphic on the front of it to decorate it. So just choosing the right one from this page, because I thought I was going to use one, and then when I got down to it I decided on a different one. So tearing that one out of the page. And what's fun is when she gets older, she wants to, color that little picture in or something like that. That's something that she can do. It's going to be her special book. So I have this piece of teal card left over from creating the belly band. So it just happened to be a great size to just fold over. Nothing super complicated or special here. Just tearing off a couple of extra little pieces of white space from this so it fits on the front of the card. this one. Just a little bit ink, and I think I used wild honey. Because it's kind of been my favorite the last couple of crafting sessions I've had. I've been on a wild honey kick. But also this page kind of has a lot of yellow and stuff to it, so I like wild honey when I'm working with yellows. Just kind of helps that pop against that teal too, so. And I do choose, I believe, a little label for this one too. So I think it's another one of my labels, and I'm not sure if I have these in the shop. If you see these and you want a set of these labels, let me know in the comments, because it's something I'm happy to do and put them in the shop. They're the same size labels as like my Christmas sentiments and fall sentiments ones with just the words on them. And I have them in black and ivory. This one says happiness, and I had done a bunch of them where I finished them with glossy accents on it. So this one has a little bit of a kind of a plasticky glossy finish on it, but otherwise mine, I just print them off on cardstock or paper for regular use. But I kind of like that size. It works on a lot of different things, because I often find a lot of the time sometimes the labels are just a little too big. And I like the black with the white words. So you guys let me know if that's something you would like to see in the shop. So I'm just going to put some decorative corners. Some little scallopy corners on there to help jazz it up a little bit, and put our happiness label, because being with horses equals happiness. Her mom and daddy don't have a horse. Their horse just passed away this last year, but I don't know. I possibly see another horse in their future, so hopefully she's got a horsey to ride at some point. There we go. Yep, just a cute little card for her to draw or write in. And that's just gonna hang over the belly band. So just lots of layers and flipping happening in this one. So, all right, clear my space a little bit and let you get a better look at it. There we go. So there's the card that just tucked into the belly band up top. Have our fabric flip with our horse and our horse postcard, and then we've still got the page in the back to color on or write on or collage on or whatever she wants to do with that page. So lots of fun. I enjoyed this project. I hope you guys did too. Again, give us a thumbs up on this video, and please consider subscribing to our channel. We love posting videos for you to enjoy. So here are some pictures again of the finished project. Bye.